What if my loved one fails? The fear of failure, right? I think it looms in all of our minds of this fear of our loved one failing. But what about the fear of success? In today's video, we're going to talk about both the fear of failure and maybe the less discussed fear of success. And I want to share a bit of my personal experience with the fear of success. And, this comes up with relationships, right? Well, what if my loved one is rejected? With maybe trying something new, with independence, a new task around the home. Well, what if my loved one can't do it, or they get too overwhelmed or frustrated? Maybe a paid job, right? Fear of failure. Our loved one living on their own, fear of failure, but also the fear of success, right? I think the fear of failure is pretty straightforward, right? We're concerned that if our loved one falls down, then they might never get back up, or they might be too overwhelmed to try again, right? But the reality is that falling down is how we learn, as long as we can get back up, right? So we got to manage that risk around the fear of failure, but around failures. But what about this other thing that I'm talking about, right? The fear of success. I think we all understand the fear of failure, but what do I mean by the fear of success? What does it mean? Okay, so let's say that your loved one was successful in learning that new task, right? In learning to do the laundry, or learning to do the dishes, learning to make their breakfast. What if they were successful, right? That would be awesome. That would be awesome. But the fear of success in our minds as a caregiver can threaten our identity as a caregiver, right? What if my loved one does the laundry? Okay, well, that means that it's great that they're doing the laundry, but now I no longer have that responsibility. That's taken off my plate, which is great because now I have more time. But part of my value in how I contribute as a caregiver was doing the laundry and providing. That's how I'm providing. And now I don't have that anymore. Right? The fear of success. And it's something that we don't talk about and don't often, it's not maybe in our consciousness. So I want to bring it into your consciousness. And I saw this with my family, right? And when my sister first moved out of home, my parents' home, and moved in with me, and my mom not maybe wanting to give my sister the opportunity to try new things because, well, if my sister was successful in learning those things, what would that mean for my mom? And what are the things that my mom might lose in terms of how she was valuing herself, or how she thought, others were valuing her, right? So the fear of success. Is this making sense? So I want you to think about this for yourself, and how the fear of success and the impacts on your identity, right, as a caregiver, as a provider, how that might be impacted with your loved one's success, whether it's just doing tasks around the home, whether it's, going and getting a paid job, whether it's moving out into a home of their own. How might that impact you, right? And one of the things that I talk about with families is how can we shift our identity from being one of a caregiver to being one of a coach. And being that coach can be a much more powerful identity, even more valued identity, and an identity that's going to help our loved one grow. So I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this idea of the fear of success and how it might be impacting you, or it might be under the layers of the onion, so to speak. So let me know in the comments, scroll down, leave me a comment on the fear of success and what comes up for you as you reflect on it. Also, if you haven't checked it out yet, there is the Growing Independence Workshop. I've got a link below for you. So if you haven't checked it out yet, go ahead, click the link, register. It's totally free. I think you're gonna get a lot of value out of it, and it'll be helpful for you. I'm Eric Gall. Together, let's take a small step forward.